I want to start by letting you know that this is still an active and ongoing investigation, and there are many details that I may not be able to share at this time, but the information that I can share is as follows. On Sunday, October 29th, at approximately 7:31 p.m., the Woodbury County Communications Center received a 911 call from a male victim reporting his son was shooting at him at 2595 County Road D25, also known as Old Highway 141. Our deputies responded to the area and set up a perimeter, and information was learned that the suspect was still on the scene in a white pickup truck. At 9:10 p.m., I made contact with the suspect via phone, and he told me there would be no peaceful resolution and made threats towards law enforcement officers. The Woodbury County Sheriff's Office requested assistance from the Sioux City Police Department, the Iowa State Patrol, and the Tri County CERT Team. And the Tri County CERT Team is made up of the Plymouth County Sheriff's Office, Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, Sioux County Sheriff's Office, the Lamar's Police Department, and the Cherokee Police Department. The Sioux City Police Department, the Iowa State Patrol, and the Tri County CERT Team all sent their respective armored vehicles and tactical personnel to our location. Additionally, the Iowa State Patrol assisted by providing air support throughout this incident. A Woodbury County Sheriff's Office crisis negotiator spoke to the suspect throughout the evening into the early morning hours, and at approximately 2:45 a.m., while the crisis negotiator was attempting to negotiate a peaceful surrender, the homicide suspect fired multiple shots at tactical teams who were attempting to move in to take the suspect into custody. Being met with gunfire and in fear for their lives, and with no other option, law enforcement personnel returned fire, striking the suspect. Medical personnel who were on standby in the area were called in. However, the suspect was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim, who was deceased at the scene, the victim of the homicide, was identified now as Todd C. Sulzberger, age 72, address 2595 County Road D25, also known as Old Highway 141. And the suspect, also deceased, is Walter M. Sulzberger, age 44, address 2853 Grundy Avenue. And the suspect is the son of the victim. The Iowa Division of Criminal Investigations was immediately contacted after this incident and requested to investigate both the officer-involved shooting and the homicide that had occurred. The scene was secured until their arrival and then turned over to the Division of Criminal Investigations. I really would like to thank the following agencies who assisted in this call, and this was a massive undertaking last night. It was a large area. There was a lot of coordination. We had a unified command center set up. We had people from multiple agencies on scene assisting both at the scene and at the mobile command post that we had set up. So I hope I don't forget anyone, but I would like to thank the Woodbury County Communications Center, the Woodbury County Conservation, Woodbury County Attorney James Loomis, Woodbury County EOC, Woodbury County Emergency Management, the Sioux City Police Department, the Iowa State Patrol, Tri County CERT Team, the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation, the Sloan Ambulance, Hornick Fire and Ambulance, and Wings Air Care. I would really like I would really like to thank the men and women who have dedicated their lives to the law enforcement profession and are willing to risk their lives to serve and protect the public. This incident is a reminder of the dangers that they face every day that they go out and put on a uniform and go out and protect the public. And there were many people who were resting peacefully in their homes last night without any knowledge of what was going on. But there were many spouses and children of police officers and deputies who prayed throughout the night that their loved ones were going to make it home. And that sacrifice that those family members of our law enforcement officers and deputies and troopers, the sacrifice that those family members make will never be lost on me, and it should never be taken for granted. And I really thank all of the law enforcement family for the dedicated service that they have to our community. To say that last night was anything less than frightening would be an understatement. It was something, as the chief and I spoke this morning, could not have imagined that we would be involved in something that was as dramatic as it was last night for the tactical teams that were there when they came under heavy fire from a suspect. So at this time I can take a few questions. Please understand I may or may not be able to answer them, as this is still an ongoing investigation.
Chad, a few minutes before the shooting call came out, a little before 7, there was a call to that address about cattle running loose. We've had people tell us that they thought that the son had tried to somewhat destroy the farm, and someone thought he set buildings on fire. Did any of that happen as far as, can you confirm that he turned the cattle loose? There
were cattle out. How those cattle were made to be free, I don't know. I'm sure the investigation will determine that. There were fires set. I'm not aware of any that were set to buildings. There were fires that were set to hay bales. I had personally, while I was there, observed a vehicle matching that description by a couple of the bales. These are large bales that were set on fire. But again, can't confirm who set that fire, but there were certainly hay bales that were on fire. Could probably be seen for miles down the valley.
Yeah. Is it fair to say too that he prevented any first responders from coming to tend to his father after his father was shot then? I mean, obviously the incident went for several hours, and it's fair to say probably that no responders or any of your men could get access to the victim then?
I couldn't comment as to whether that was as a direct result of anything that he did or didn't do. So, but again, the investigation will probably let us know if that was the case or not.
So was he just kind of follow up just for the timeline, was he shot at the time he called 911? Did he call 911 and say, I've been shot, or did he say, I'm being shot at?
The 911 call, the notes in the dispatch said that the person calling was saying that his son was shooting at him.
Were the body cameras being used at the time, and if so, will that video be able to be released at a later time?
That would all be dependent on the investigation and how the investigation comes out. There would have been body cams being utilized on the scene. Whether or not they'll be released will be up to probably the county attorney's office, Division of Criminal Investigation, city attorney's office.
The armored vehicle, I saw it getting towed away. Was that because it's evidence now? Did it get shot or something, or did it break down, or it got towed away as well?
2 of the armored vehicles were struck by gunfire. I don't know what their operational function is. I have no idea.
You know what kind of firearms he was shooting?
Don't know at this time.
None of your guys, no ambulance personnel, no one else was injured?
No first responders were injured in the incident, by the grace of God. Okay, if that's it, from this point forward, the investigation is being led by Division of Criminal Investigations. So any information moving forward would not come from the Woodbury County Sheriff's Office. It would come from either the DCI, County Attorney's Office, or the Attorney General's Office.
One other follow-up question, really quick. the officer on paid leave or whatever status they're
Standard protocol is any officer or officers who discharge their weapon would be placed on administrative leave, but we're not going to discuss any of those details at this time. All right, thank you all.